These are the Amiron Homes. Beyerdynamics. Entry level into comfortable headphones, I guess. So, they were expensive. They were like $500. Now they dropped to like $387. And I think they're worth looking at that price point because they're not like other Beyerdynamics where it's a crapshoot and you could die at any moment. Now, these here are my MMX 300s with the changed out Tacony pads, and they sit amongst a plinth of tubes and happiness. And I would change nothing about them. And these almost could fit there because the Beyerdynamic seems to have focused finally on actually making something comfortable. They're called the Amiron Home. Home is where you hang your hat. Home is where the fireplace is, where your dog climbs up in your lap and you read a book and it's comfortable and there's hot cocoa usually at home. And I feel like that's what they're trying for with these. Let's look, observe them first. So, new cup design. I haven't seen this on other Beyerdynamics. This is just sort of like, I don't know, nice. We have, what is that, 3.5 millimeter, but it's a very steep angled entry plug. So finding replacement plugs for this might be slightly hard if you're using just big old connectors, unless you get the really long extension ones. Nice little back panel here. Cheese grater style, Beyerdynamic. It's got the same fork as every other Beyerdynamic. And then you get up to the headband, and that's when things start getting like, oh, interesting. Because it's a fully suede under and over. It's padded on top. That's sort of like my first indicator of like, oh, Beyerdynamic's trying to go for something real soft. You usually grab this, just like, this is so squeezy. So, completely soft bottom, not memory foam, but just really like fucking extra padded. Like designed to be used at a hospital for people who could hurt themselves. It's great. I love it. Pads, well, you could have guessed they're Beyerdynamic pads. So they're just Beyerdynamic pads, not memory foam. And this is probably my biggest problem with these pads. Because regular Beyerdynamic pads are pretty lax, but it's okay because the clamp is there. And these have no clamp. They'll basically sit. Like that's just, they're trying to be very, very comfortable. And they're succeeding. I know a certain person who will give her review in a moment, her testimony, and she loves the way these feel. Loves them. But here's the thing. If I'm wearing a headphone and I look down and it goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Every time I turn, it sort of lags behind on my head. It means one of two things. Your pads are too stiff and not allowing for the soft clamp to then compress them, or your head is really, really narrow. And my head isn't narrow, not even a little bit. So, we're getting onto the comfort. We're going to get off comfort in a second, actually talk about how they sound, but I want to get this out of the way, because she finds them as the most comfortable headphones on earth, and I think they could be a little better. Maybe a little bit more plush padding, because this is like, it's not soft. Like, as soon as you touch it, it's like, oh, I gotta push. I gotta push to get the pads to be soft. This is nice and soft. They could have made this have been great. But, so now we're done. You're wearing your very lightly clamping round. And again, round, it's 3-knuckle, but it's hitting top and bottom. So I do feel it on the top of my ear. I have, I guess normal-ish size ears, not gigantic elephant ears. So you get it on. I could pull it and I could just almost perfect. It's almost perfect. But then I feel like it needs to just press harder or be softer to grab onto my head properly. But we'll live with that. The top of my head is perfectly fine. Sorry, I was playing that song for, you know who. I tried these headphones at a meet years ago. 2 years ago plus, and I immediately judged them. Amiron Homes, they're sharp, they're annoying, I don't like them. Then time passes. Then I actually get a set here in the studio. I'm gonna call it the studio. You like that? You like my studio? I like it. In the studio for review, and my perception of them changed. Now, either they fixed the bit. I thought they just fixed them. I thought they just, oh, they obviously fixed these. And then, through a series of non-conformist changes made to my environment, I figured out what it was. An amp can fuck these headphones up. I had this Topping DX7 Pro here. I still haven't reviewed it yet. And I'm glad I haven't reviewed it yet because I'm going to talk about some stuff. Because when I plugged these into that, the old Amiron Homes came back. They're like, ooh, these are a little bit sharp. They weren't sharp when I tried them last week. Why are they sharp now? What happened? And then it was just like, all right, well, let me try the Aoun and Tube and back to the 789. And then let's try the Solaris because it's here and I'm going to fucking use it. And every amp makes a little bit of difference. The tubes are probably the best thing for this because there's going to be some latent Tesla issues in there where it's like, oh, we tune down the drivers a bit, and the tubes take care of that fine. But 789 versus Aoun X1S. Now, this is not a challenge that I bring up often. Obviously, the 789 THX is better. But here's the thing. Output impedance is a thing. And output impedance can either fuck up a headphone or benefit it greatly. And when it comes to these headphones, I think a higher output impedance actually softens them up a bit. Gives them the luxuriousness that they are actually probably designed for. So I'm here, I have all this stuff laid out, and the Aoun X1S is probably the one I listen to them on. What are we actually listening at? What at we listening are be? Quality low end. They're there. They're open back. They are open back. If you can't tell, these are open backs. They're not a closed back. The low end is not absurd. These, my closed back MMX 300s, well, those are argon levels of low end. And this is not. If I had to compare these to something else in my wall, it wouldn't be X2s. It'd probably be my modified 80-2000Xs, where it's a tight, controllable low end. But that's not the problem. Actually, there is no problem. But that's not what we're focusing on. When I compare them against other headphones in the class, these are actually a shift towards warmth. So warmth doesn't mean, oh, it's bassy. The bass is, like I said, relatively average. Clean, supple, but not bloated or in your face. So these aren't bass headphones. But when I switch to other headphones, I noticed that the mid-range, like where people are singing, everyone gets a little more Barry White. These are just a little more Barry White headphones, especially when you find the right amplifier for them. I'm going to swap this out now to the tube, to my Dark Voice, which is the affordable tube in the group. Ooh. This is Talib Kweli, Soon the New Day, feat Nora Jones. And this is a love-making song. This is where the love-making happens. On this desk right here, with this song, with these headphones on a tube. And it's hard to, like, everyone gets a tube and they expect it to do a certain thing to a headphone. Well, I want it to be softer and warmer and maybe a little bit wider, a little more relaxed. So I think Beyer, when they designed these, probably did it with trying to make the tube sound happen without a tube. And it sort of works. But it leaves this headphone susceptible to different output impedance and different amplifiers, so that you might fuck it up entirely. Just fuck it up entirely. So be very careful when you get it. When Pasta said she loved it, I was like, but they sharp. Which you were screaming? Let me play you her. Well, we could presume this is her. All right. I picked this wallpaper specific. She gave her review. This is Pasta's review, and this is back when I told her they were sharp when she first told me about them.
My name's Pasta, and I approve this message. For only 613 Canadian dollars, you too can enjoy the best headphones in the world. Zeos is going to say they're too sharp. I'm using air quotes. Don't listen to him. The Amiron Homes are so comfortable and perfect in every way. You want them. Trust me. That was my commercial voice. Do you love it? I love it. That was my commercial voice.
Okay, so that's Pasta's opinion on these. And I know why she loves them. She doesn't like when headphones clamp against her head. She has a sensitivity under her ears that if it pushes too hard, she gets like nauseous. And I've known other people who have that. People who literally, if you touch their face in the wrong way, they get woozy. And these, doing this, will never do that. They're also round pads, which means they don't get down far enough on her face to push that point. So of course these are comfortable for her. Now the sound, I didn't understand that until I started doing swapping, because she has a small little IFI amp, which I don't have here. I forget which one it is. The Nano DSD, the little baby one. It's super cute. So I couldn't directly listen to these on there. I didn't have them to go on. So now that I've got the tubes warmed up, and let's switch over to the big boy tube, because we're big boys here. I don't think these are designed in such a way that switching between a $300 with a $100 DAC tube and DAC amp combo to a $6,000 tube and DAC combo, there's very little difference. I almost wouldn't call these hi-fi. I think that's going to be the crux of this. When I think hi-fi, I think people want detail. I think they want accuracy. And these are inaccurate, but enjoyable. That's what it comes down to. And I look at my wall and I go, yeah, that's pretty much my style. None of those headphones are perfect headphones. I've said this before. Every one of those headphones does one, maybe two things better than every other headphone on the market. And if I have enough of them, I could say, well, I want, let's see, the low-end reproduction of the 909s, and I want the airiness of the Sundaras, and then I want the accuracy and imaging of the 2000Xs, and let's just say the overall low-end capabilities of that, but then I want the detail of that, and oh my god, the comfort of those. So it's just a conglomeration of stuff that does almost everything right, but not everything. And these would fit absolutely on my wall. These are chill as fuck headphones. But don't call them hi-fi headphones. You have vinyl, you listen to vinyl, these are fine. Take that as you may. Don't overthink that, please. They have enough detail in the highs. So I haven't spoken about the highs. I said they're too much. On this topping, the highs are too much. It's like fucking Tesla driver, done. Hang up my fucking coat. It's over. But on the 789 or the Aoun, and especially on the tubes, not a problem at all. It's just enough there to make you happy. Just enough there to make you say, okay, I spent $300, $387 currently, and I'm okay with these headphones. Would I take these or the blonde B20s? The blondes. I'd take the blondes. Would I take these, or what else is up there that could compete? The Sundaras. I think I'd take the Sundaras. Even though they're a little bass light, that particular type of relaxed width with a much more pronounced, I want to say pronounced treble, but it's pronounced detail. And I can get more treble out of these. I know, I just hook this amp up and it'll go treble high, but it ruins it. These are very, very good headphones for sitting quietly in your den with a candle burning next to your fireplace. That's it. I would not mix or master on these. It's funny because when you go to Amazon Beyerdynamic Amiron Homes. They also have a wireless version, which looks to be closed back, which I don't understand how do you have the same exact headphone and then just make it wireless and then close it? That's an entirely different fucking headphone. Then it should be like the Amiron Home closed wireless. Also, the price goes from $387. And then when you go wireless, $648. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, anyway, what I was saying is when you go to the Amazon page, what other items do customers buy after viewing this? So they've looked at the Amiron Homes, and then they make their decision. DT 1990. When these were $500, that was a no-brainer because they're $455. DT 1990s are linked in the description. Then apparently people bought the Amiron Home Wireless, which is $628. The HD 660S, completely different sound from these. Don't know why they would switch channels and go from this warm, supple, like just mid-bass, happy storm to the 660s, which are like detail, aggression, narrow detail. And then DT 990s, which well, actually, no, those are the 250 ohm ones. I don't know if I reviewed those. Because one of the things Beyerdynamics does is they change up the ohm load. So these could be 30 ohms or 120 ohms or 600 ohms, and that changes everything. So now you got to review every headphone 3 times. I'm going to review this headphone once. It's made in Germany. It's well built enough. I don't feel like it's going to break immediately, although I still question this system. I question it here, and I question it here. I didn't do any pad swapping on this. If I did a pad swap on this to a softer pad, I might get over the slight comfort issues I have. But since other people have stated they're the most comfortable headphones on earth, we could just go with that, right? We'll just go with that. Sound demo in the description. I don't remember how it recorded. It was a while ago. Oh, I should probably talk about this for a second. Here's the case it comes with, standard Beyerdynamic case. Well, that was long. And here's the wire it comes with. I'm not sure if it came with a short wire. I borrowed this from somebody, and they gave me this. So you can replace the wire. It's just a dual 3.5 millimeter. But again, it's way up there. So you got to be careful if you're going to buy something like a hard audio cable. A little bit rubbery, a little bit sticky. These are a headphone you just sit on. You have to really spend time with them, try them on different amps, and figure out if you love them or not. Because that's what it comes down to. Do you love them or do you not love them? Anyway, I'm done. That wallpaper's in the description. It's exactly what she looks like when she has blonde hair and she doesn't. My Patreon will get to see this first. The $2 tier gets wallpapers and some videos. The $5 tier gets every video. You get to ask me questions on Patreon, and you get in the yard sale, 1st to the 10th. Free shipping continental United States, half shipping international for any items you bid on. And the bidding starts at 0 on every product, except if I specify that. $10 tier gets you into the private Telegram chat with all my high-end patrons who all have opinions, and not all of them match my own. And that's why I'm going to have to kill them all. No, wait, that's not what I do. I thank them for helping support this channel and keeping my cat fed. So that's it. Amiron Homes. If you want to send me the Amiron Home Wireless, I'd love for someone to do that so I could tell you they're absolutely probably not worth double the fucking price. That's dumb. That's it. Sound demo description. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. We good? We good. We good? We good.